Thanks for tuning back in. I'm Tommy Campbell, still bald, still in my basement, and still shaking off much of the debate. But to quote Misha Collins, Biden stutters, but he stutters the truth. Trump's lies flow freely. Fox, Newsmax, RSBN, they all claimed President Biden would be all drugged up. Dude didn't even take a lozenge for his throat. So much for the drug angle. Ultimately, we hoped for Dark Brandon and got Diet Brandon. I'll be doing a quick and fun fact check of Trump's false claims because it's important to get to the truth. Trump is a bad businessman, but he is a convincing BS artist, and many did and will fall for his confidence, and even just that bit of uncertainty is dangerous. I also want to give my honest take on the first debate from the perspective of a performer, my thoughts on Biden's performance, and if you didn't catch Biden in North Carolina yesterday, he said this.
Folks, I don't walk as easy as I used to. I don't speak as smoothly as I used to. I don't debate as well as I used to. But I know what I do know. I know how to tell the truth. I know right from wrong. And I know how to do this job. I know how to get things done. And I know, like millions of Americans know, when you get knocked down, you get back up.
It is a big deal that he was honest about how it really went. He knows it wasn't ideal, and it's important that you know that too. Team Trump are out there doing victory laps, and although Trump came across better, his diaper was on fire the entire time, and that ain't winning. Thanks for taking in this bald comedian's take on things. Please join the best subscribers on YouTube while I blast the latest and stupid and more.
Sleepy Joe tried to say it was 159 scholars and historians that voted me the worst president of all time. Come on, Joe, that's a huge lie, and you know it. It was 154 that voted me the worst president in history, number one. So much winning, that's what I do. I win and think about my hot daughter all the time. She's terrific.
This is really cool.
On Monday, July 1st, Steve Bannon will be ditching his layers of shirts and ladder of pens for an orange jumpsuit. Bannon was convicted of 2 counts of contempt of Congress and sentenced to 4 months in federal prison. His appeal to the D.C. Circuit was denied, and the trial judge ordered him to begin serving his sentence on July 1st. Following the order, Bannon appealed to the D.C. Circuit to stay out of jail, but his attempt was denied. And on Friday, the Supreme Court ruled the same. Denied. He'll be doing 4 months without the opportunity for early release. They're going to have to hose this guy down Rambo style to get the funk off. I love seeing another MAGA lunatic enter the found out club, and I'm guessing Stuart Rhodes is thrilled since this will give his empty eye socket a break now and then. Well, if you're like me, when that debate started, it was hard to watch. Like when your favorite team makes a bad play right out of the gate. I mean, you could see Biden was off before he even started talking. I think it was a multitude of things. He truly hates Donald Trump, and he was just disgusted to be in a room with him, and that's fair. I get that Biden has a cold, but adrenaline will usually wipe that out when you're on stage. Battling through a cough or a sore throat is not that big of a deal. I mean, if he had the flu and he was trying not to vomit, that's different. But that's not the situation here. And when you see any post-debate Biden, I'm not talking the next day, I'm talking the next hour, his tone and voice was way better. He did not come across well, and he admits that. Great. Now, let me speak to you as a performer who has done thousands of shows. We have bad ones, and they are not fun. I mean, when I lived in London, the Comedy Store had an early and a late show. You'd do 20 minutes on each, and they were like at 8 and midnight. So after the first, you go across Leicester Square, the 99 Club, the Funny Side of Covent Garden, or Big Night Out. And you do 5 or 6 shows a night. These aren't new material venues. These are bring your A-game clubs that you have to kill at. And sometimes you destroy on 4 shows, and the 5th would just not go well at all. And you can feel it happening. And it's very hard to pull back. Pretty much impossible with an audience, because once they've lost faith in you, there's like nothing you can do to turn it around. They've made up their mind. And it's just surreal because the same jokes were getting applause breaks like half an hour ago. And this crowd is looking at you like, have you ever done this before? It is rare when this happens, but it happens to the best of us. Something just doesn't click. And something didn't click for Biden, and he knew it. I doubt a cold could throw you this much. I've been on stage holding both ends after a bout of food poisoning in Newcastle, playing to a very drunk and very rowdy bunch, happy to see you slip. I got through it just enough. Wasn't a cold. You can't blame a cold. A cold shouldn't stop a president, okay? He was thrown, and I'm not sure if it was his disdain for Trump or being tangled in the over-preparation or possibly misguided preparation. Remember, this was easy for Trump because facts didn't matter to him. What mattered was just playing the camera for the home audience that weren't going to question his statements that were overwhelmingly false.
You know, the most important person tonight is going to be the engineer who decides when microphones go on and off. I'd like to know who he or she is, how they voted. Let's see the most powerful person who's going to silence people. This is not a debate. This is a CNN scripted forum.
Here's the thing. Killing the mics only kills the microphone. You could see many times when Trump continued to talk while Jake, Dana, or Joe were speaking. And although we, the audience, couldn't hear him very well, just because his mic was muted doesn't mean his voice was. Biden was a few feet away and could hear Trump loud and clear and had to work through that. We would have all liked a better debate performance because it would have been great not just to have the truth from Biden, but have it delivered with confidence. But what Biden has going for him outside of this debate is his performance over the last few years, and that speaks volumes.
There is panic that has set in. There is panic that has set in among people who have watched this debate, who are Democrats, people who are strategists, and some even inside Democratic campaigns. Yeah. Do you think it's unfounded?
Well, I think it's unhelpful, and I think it's unnecessary. We've got to go in and got to keep our heads high. And as I say, we've got to have the back of this president. You don't turn your back because of one performance. What kind of party does that?
Exactly. Thank you. Love the hair. Wish I had that hair. And even Biden said, when you get knocked down, you get back up.
The crimes that you are still charged with, and think of all the civil penalties you have. How many billions of dollars do you owe in civil penalties for molesting a woman in public, for doing a whole range of things, of having sex with a porn star on the night while your wife was pregnant? I mean, what are you talking about? You have the morals of an alley cat.
Give you a minute, sir.
I didn't have sex with a porn star, number one.
Probably one of my favorite moments of the night. Trump denying the Stormy affair and getting compared to an alley cat. Just some old school ribbing. And it got to him. But let's get into some quick fact checking because Trump was diapers on fire during the debate and CNN made the horrible decision not to fact check. That's like people going with a home birth. Now you want to skip the doctor and try and, drop a baby next to the sock drawer? Okay. Trump claimed Biden wants to raise your taxes by 4 times. This is something he has repeated at rallies along with sharks, batteries, water, and domes. Biden actually wants to prevent tax increases on anyone making less than $400,000. Biden's tax increases are focused on the wealthy and corporations paying their fair share. This includes the 25% tax on billionaires that Biden attempted to articulate. Parents could get an increased child tax credit. Home buyers could get a tax credit worth up to $10,000, and the plan includes $10 billion in down payment aid for first-generation buyers. Parents making under $200,000 annually would have access to childcare, with most eligible families paying no more than $10 a day. When it came to abortion, Trump trotted this out again, saying the problem they have is they're radical because they will take the life of a child in the 8th month, the 9th month, and even after birth. Infanticide is criminalized in every state, and no state has passed a law that allows killing a baby after birth. There is no such thing as post-birth abortion. In 2020, less than 1% of abortions in the United States were performed at or after 21 weeks. Abortions later in pregnancy are usually a result of serious complications that put the life of the woman or fetus at risk. And these are babies that they want to keep, but they can't. They'll die. Ugh.
When I was vice president, down to a 6. And by the way, I told you before, I'm happy to play golf if you carry your own bag. Think you can do it?
That's the biggest lie. He's a 6 handicap of all.
I was an 8 handicap.
Yeah.
8.
Never.
But I have, how many?
I've seen you swing. I know you swing.
Okay,
let's not act like children.
President Trump, we're going to
Let's not act like children.
Okay, that's pretty rich, Trump. I really found Biden's bag comment hilarious, though it was bizarre to see a debate pivot to golf. So just to be clear, as Joe was unsteady there, 8-6, Joe Biden is currently listed with the United States Golf Association as holding a 6.7 handicap playing out of Fieldstone Golf Club in Delaware. Biden hasn't logged a score in the system since 2018. Ivanka has a 20.9 handicap, Eric Trump 13.6, Don Jr. has a makeup lab explosion survivor girlfriend and a passion for straws and rolled up bills. Donald Trump is in the system as a member of the prestigious Winged Foot Golf Club in New York. He lists a handicap of 2.5 but hasn't posted a score since 2021. Neither of their numbers are likely to reflect their current game, but Trump was clearly flustered by this and he wouldn't agree to carry his own golf bag because he can't. Trump claimed the Paris Climate Accord would have cost the U.S. $1 trillion, and they were the only ones paying. As part of the Paris Agreement in 2009, the U.S. and other developed nations, including Western European countries, committed to collectively contribute $100 billion per year by 2020 to help poorer developing countries, predominantly in the global south, adapt to the impacts of climate change like sea level rise and worsening heat. Developed nations met their collective goal 2 years late in 2022, but the figure has never been what Trump suggested. Trump said, during my 4 years, I had the best environmental numbers ever, and that he supports immaculate air and water, and even clarified that as H2O, for all his science lovers watching at home. This is the clean coal windmills cause cancer guy. Trump saying he cares about the planet is as believable as Melania saying she cares about her husband. Just to put things in perspective, many tanks are $5 to $19 million. The MIM-104 Patriot surface-to-air missile system is $26.9 million, and you still have to load it up. It just to really go crazy. The cost to develop and acquire the F-35 jet is estimated at $412 billion. But none of these weapons will matter since we'll be too busy fighting the increasingly frequent and larger fires and floods. President Biden hit Trump early regarding injecting bleach. And the truth is, he did float whether it be possible to inject disinfectant. I mean, we've seen Dr. Birx dying inside like she'd just injected disinfectant. Regarding January 6, Trump said they talk about a relatively small number of people that went to the Capitol and in many cases were ushered in by the police. He also brought up Pelosi again, saying, because I offered her 10,000 soldiers or National Guard and she turned them down. We all watched in horror as this unfolded on television. We saw both Republicans and Democrats running for their lives and blaming Trump with some very savage quotes from Mitch McConnell, Mitt Romney, and Lindsey Graham. More than 1,400 people have been charged with federal crimes, over 850 people have pleaded guilty, and 200 have convictions stemming from the deadliest assault on democracy in over 200 years. There is no evidence that either Pelosi or McConnell directed the security officials not to call the guard beforehand. Trump did everything he could to connect any topic to migrants and a crime surge. There's no evidence of a spike in crime perpetrated by migrants. When I lived in the UK, I spent nearly 10 years there, incredible chapter of my life. I had a nationalist neighbor who wanted me to go to BNP meetings, kind of like if the Proud Boys were British and had a political party. Like, I would be walking my dog and he would cross the street to come tell me, we got to come together and stop the immigrants, mate. We got to stop the immigrants. I'm like, dude, I'm an immigrant. Oh, that's right. I'm white, so I'm not really an immigrant. Anyhow, when I read about an illegal committing a violent crime, it's awful. When I read about a citizen committing a violent crime, it's awful. Look around. Kids are getting shot in school and supermarkets, and guns did not come up once in the debate. And that to me is a major disappointment. A vote for Biden is a vote for treason. MAGA tears. Biden failed. MAGA tears. Donald J. Trump won the hearts and minds of the planet tonight. He is true world president. MAGA tears. I love seeing another MAGA lunatic enter the found out club. And I'm guessing Stuart Rhodes is thrilled, since this will give his empty eye socket a break now and then. That's so wrong, but so right. Pelosi did not cancel the National Guard. As things worsened. That's like people going with a home birth. Now you want to skip the doctor? He's going to figure this all out on your own? Going to drop a baby next to the sock drawer and the used Kleenex? Ivanka has a 20.9 handicap, Eric Trump 13.6, Don Jr. has a makeup lab explosion survivor girlfriend, and a passion for straws and rolled up bills. What are you guys doing? What are these people doing? Thanks for watching. Please stick around and check out another one of my videos. Say hello in the comments, find my stand-up on Spotify, streamed by millions, and add me on Facebook and Instagram. It all helps. Be cool, be kind, take care.